Hey, what's up, everybody? Lead meteorologist John Choquette here for our daily forecast. Thanks as always to our sponsors, C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor Show. They're in the description below, and you'll see their ads pop up here on their sponsored content within our videos as well. And also shout out to TikTok. We're live on TikTok simultaneously here. After this video is over, we have a lot to talk about. I'm actually going to break down some of the models as well through there. So after this, you can jump right over to HailTrace's TikTok, and we can go into that as well. So with that, we do have a lot going on. Might see some high plains magic today here in the storm chasing world, we call it that. Could be a bunch of storms all the way from Canada down to Mexico today. Could be some massive hail, some tornadoes, the gusty winds. So we'll break down where to expect that and when here in just a minute. And then frankly, this weekend looks busy. Storm system Frank starting today and moving through this entire weekend. Looks like we see a lot of storms tomorrow along the I-35 corridor, from about Minneapolis all the way down to south of Oklahoma City. And finally, everything shifts a little bit to the east and a little bit more to the south on Sunday, where areas such as Chicago and down towards Dallas-Fort Worth could see some storms on Sunday. So let's go ahead and jump right into an event that we have coming up. I haven't done the forecast in a minute, so I forgot about this. We have the C3 Lunch and Learn. It's going to be here at HailTrace on May 10th. On the third floor. You might see me, you might see everyone here at HailTrace, or you won't see me because we'll be storm chasing because there'll be a bunch of storms. Either way, the event's happening regardless of what storms are going on. You can come, check out, you can see this video likely happen live because I don't know what time it happens at, but I'm assuming it's happening around noon. So sign up for that. It's free, and you can get a tour of everything here within our office, along with learning some great stuff that C3 Group has to offer. So what do we have happening right now? Well, we have clear skies generally across a lot of the country. We have some rain here up into the Great Lakes region. This is actually the start of Storm System Frank. The low pressure center of Frank is near the Denver area right now, and it's going to move its way off to the north and east, and with that trigger a lot of severe weather this afternoon and this evening. We could actually see a couple storms in eastern sections of Iowa and possibly up towards North Dakota from the activity happening right now. Nothing severe at the moment, but that could change in the coming hours here. Temperatures are warm. We are getting more summer-like every single day. It's already 80 degrees in Kansas City. It's in the 70s in Dallas as well as here in Oklahoma City. We have a fair bit of cloudiness in the area, but the instability is there. It's feeling a lot more like spring with dew points. Blanket across the 60s here across all of Oklahoma, western Texas, and the Texas Panhandle up into most of Kansas. And notice you can even see here, this is where you got a warm front, where the higher instability, the higher dew points are rising off to the north. We will have storms trigger on that warm front later on this afternoon and into this evening, and also storms forming along the dry line. Notice 51-degree dew point in North Platte, and if we go further off to the west, areas like Denver or even places just on the Boise City here in Oklahoma, dew points are going to be in the 40s. So those are two trigger points for storms today. And with all of the warmth and a lot of the instability, our CAPE values are going to be super high here today. We're going to have a lot to work with, a lot of available potential energy to make those big hailstorms, make potentially some tornadoes as well. So a lot of severe weather here. So at 4 p.m., this is before storms fire, we have a lot of CAPE. So this is 2,000-3,000 CAPE, which that's usually what you need for some more robust severe weather, some bigger hail in excess of 2 inches in diameter. And as storms fire, notice that CAPE kind of starts to go away here, and we actually have the potential for storms to continue well into the overnight hours, and all of that will yield some big hail and a lot of storms this afternoon. So looking at that future radar, I'm using two different models here just because, much like yesterday, models were all over the place trying to figure out when storms are going to fire, where storms will fire, if storms fire at all. So we're kind of using a blend of the two. It looks like, much like yesterday where we had storms here in Kansas, we're likely going to see storms happen today, especially here in the Texas Panhandle by about 6 o'clock. The 3KM NAM, so it's one of the two convective allowing models, showing storms forming. Actually has it moving very close to Amarillo between the 6 and 8 o'clock hours. This is going to be great for storm chasing, actually fantastic here. Perfect timing, sun will be setting, and we could see potentially some tornadoes with this, but very large hail, very likely. We could actually see even more storms fire than what this model is showing as well. And as we move to the late evening and overnight hours, we're going to have potentially a squall line of storms. Kansas now continue into tomorrow morning. So I'm seeing a red thing on my microphone really quick. So I'm going to just take 1 second, check, see if the battery's dying here, which it kind of is. So I might speed it up a little bit. And if the battery does die, we got Justin over there. He can kind of take over for me for a minute while we change out the batteries, and he's finding that out real time right now. So I'm going to jump over a little bit further to north. Again, this risk goes all the way up into near Canada, and about 7 p.m. The real focus is going to be on Rapid City, so that's where I'm zooming in. Notice all of these storms are going to form after about 7 o'clock Central Time, and we could actually see some pretty big hail with this. Multiple storms have been very consistent models here in the late evening hours into the early night, getting close to that midnight hour across Rapid City. We could actually see a fair bit of activity pretty early for this time of year. It is still only April, by the way, for the Rapid City area. So what's that? All that we've said, what's that maximum hail size going to be for your Friday? I'm going balls to the wall on this one. Softball size hail, I think, will happen somewhere today. Also, I probably just need to put a baseball size one in here anyway. But it looks like any supercells that can really get themselves going, stay isolated. The instability is there to have some very large hail with any of those biggest storms. I'm not saying that's going to be where it's going to be at Amarillo or where it's going to be at Rapid City, but somewhere along the way we will see possibly some softball size hail. So with that, the C3 Group sponsor day 1 forecast here. Storm Frank's hail forecast. I do got the blue in there. The most likely area that we're going to see that hail potentially get up, that softball size is going to be where that core axis of instability is going to be. I got a low chance for Lubbock, so notice here, even though you could see up to over baseball size hail, the chances that's going to be pretty low. Amarillo is moderate. It's been pretty consistently showing that storms are going to be forming in and around the Amarillo area. The only reason I'm not going any higher is I'm a little afraid that storms may form east of Amarillo or too far west of Amarillo even. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. As we move further to the north, storms may fire across Kansas as isolated storms this evening after about 6 o'clock. If those go, this would definitely have that, again, that potential very large hail all the way up to about the North Platte area down to about Dodge City, Goodland, everywhere in between. Could see that very large hail, assuming, of course, storms form before dark. If not, we'll see possibly a line of storms form in the overnight hours, and that would really minimize hail chances as well. Omaha, you're technically in the risk, but I think you overall are not going to really see too much. And then over here by Rapid City, up to tennis ball size hail is possible with any of these storms. Got that moderate chance of Rapid City as well, as we saw those storms kind of forming very close to Rapid City and moving over the area. Again, only a moderate chance because Rapid City isn't the biggest city in the world, so it's a kind of a small target to hit. But very possible we'll see hail possibly up to tennis ball size between about 8 p.m. and midnight here in the Rapid City area. And finally, moving off to the east, we could see some storms throughout the day today and into the overnight hours, kind of scattered around here, areas like Minneapolis, Omaha, even down by Dallas, where my legs are at here. We could see hail maybe up to quarter size, I think, overall, as this warm front moves up to the north. We could see some new storms form from what we already have, and that could potentially have some quarter to $half size hail. I'm really thinking the hail sizes on this would be extremely conditional to an isolated storm along the warm front itself, or alternatively just kind of pop-up storms that have a hard time getting much hail beyond quarter size. So the most at-risk cities overall, breaking down a little bit further, I think Amarillo, you got a solid moderate chance. Rapid City, I think a little bit higher, a moderately high chance. Again, they're very consistent, probably the most consistent city of all the models so far today. Conditions are definitely ripe for some bigger hail in and around Rapid City. Lubbock, moderately low. I think storms won't be too far to your north. Midland, Odessa, that is an outside chance of a rogue storm forming that far to the south, closer to Mexico. The cap is very strong in southern parts of Texas. Fargo, North Dakota, you could see some storms as well as that warm front shifts up to the north towards Canada as the day progresses. And Omaha, very low chance that anything meanders over towards Omaha today. But if you're not on that list today, don't worry. We have another chance of storms tomorrow where everything shifts off to the east, and with that, more population centers are actually in there. So as of about 6 p.m., this is the future radar here. We see storms starting to fire here in Oklahoma. And you push even further, about 9 o'clock, now we got storms in northern Oklahoma, southern Kansas. We have storms just to the west of Oklahoma City, which means sounds like I'm chasing tomorrow. So we'll be chasing with the news channel as storms move through the Oklahoma City area. They're about 9, 10, 11 o'clock, even getting towards the Tulsa area tomorrow evening around midnight. We do have a mix of supercells and a line of storms. The models have been really all over the place with this, favoring back and forth between a line of storms and between supercells. The big thing that is really making me lean towards bigger hail is the fact that it looks like we're going to a dry line instead of a cold front pushing through, and that's going to favor probably more supercellular activity versus a just raging line of storms. And as we push further to about 3 o'clock, storms do start to die off on your Saturday. Pushing further to the north here towards Kansas City. I know the dreaded Kansas City words. I think every time I say that in these videos, you guys think I'm jinxing this city, but we do see some storms forming again around 8:30 in eastern sections of Kansas and now towards the far eastern reaches of Nebraska. And any of these storms that remain isolated have that chance for some hail, and this does show storms moving through Kansas City as isolated storms between about 8 and 11 p.m. That you could have some big hail with that as well. And then finally, as we move further to the north, once we get past the midnight hour here, we do see a chance for storms as well, all the way up I-35.
I'll change the batteries.
Okay. What's going on, everybody? We're gonna go ahead and wing this. John is changing his batteries as we. I would use those.
These?
Yeah, yeah. So, as John mentioned, he's changing his batteries. So I'm going to just go ahead and continue what he's talking about while he is changing these batteries out. We do have a pretty enhanced risk tomorrow, which basically extends from Minneapolis all the way down to southern Texas. So, do you want me to click through the slides?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. So as we go through this time, we are going to see. I don't even know how to make this play, dude.
I'll just keep it going.
Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, the storms develop in Minneapolis near the about 7 to 8:30 Central time frame. As you can see, they'll be moving through there, all the way down through Iowa. And then they extend further south into Kansas, Oklahoma, and into Texas. So
Okay, I think I got
all
my
right,
audio
John,
back.
you back?
Good.
All right, sorry about that,
Can
guys.
you hear me? Here, kill your. We can kill the Justin cam for a minute here. There we go. I knew the batteries were gonna die eventually, so. So with that, about 8:30, like Justin said, we're gonna have storms forming, moving through the Minneapolis area. Again, isolated storms. They could be bigger hailstorms with that as well. And as we push later on, I think storms will start to die off as we push off to these pretty quickly here going into Wisconsin. You can see there is a center of storm system, Frank, about 10 p.m. In South Dakota. So a pretty wide, big risk area. This looks something closer to what you'd see in June, but here we are in April. Things have been weird here in 2021. So with that, this is Merlin Law Group's Day 2 hail forecast for Storm Frank here for your Saturday. Had to remember what day of the week it was. Notice I'm going a little conservative on hail size right now just because I don't know exactly what that storm mode is going to be. Obviously, if we have more of a linear storm mode, hail sizes are smaller. More isolated supercells, hail sizes could go up. There's going to be a fair bit of instability tomorrow. Let's zoom this in for where we're expecting for cities. I got a low chance here for Abilene along the I-20 corridor. Oklahoma City, here where HailTrace is located, I got a moderate chance, maybe up to that golf ball size hail. That's what we're thinking for hail size right now. Tulsa, a low chance. I think storms may become linear by the time they get over to Tulsa, so I got that low chance, maybe up to some $1.25 to $1 size hail. This is all going to be after about 7 p.m. Central Time. Further up to the north here in Kansas City, yeah, I do have a moderate chance right now for possibly up to some golf ball size hail after about 7 p.m. And then low chance for Des Moines, where I think storms will be probably firing just east of Omaha, but probably being linear by that low chance here, but could be up to some, what? Oh, I'm good. Why are you making noises? and then we got up to that low chance here for Des Moines. And then finally up to the north here, we got a moderate chance for Minneapolis of up to that golf ball size hail potential. So that's what we're seeing here for Storm System Frank for your day 2 forecast. And then the most at-risk cities, breaking it down a little bit further here, we have a moderately high chance for Oklahoma City. It's looking pretty likely we're going to see storms near Oklahoma City tomorrow. Moderate chance for Kansas City, moderately low for both Tulsa and Des Moines for reasons I just mentioned. Minneapolis, moderate as well. And then a low chance, I got Wichita in there. I think more likely storms are going to push a little bit further to the east of you guys by the time they form, so it might miss the city a fair bit. And then finally here we got America Contractor Show's sponsored look ahead forecast for your Sunday. I saw somebody mentioning Illinois, and with that, this is Sunday's forecast. I don't have anything broken down for that yet, but all the way from probably the San Angelo region, I do have Dallas-Fort Worth in there, southeastern sections of Oklahoma, parts of Arkansas, St. Louis, and up to the Chicago area. A lot of Illinois here for your Sunday. This isn't a super high risk at the moment, kind of conditional how things play out on Saturday, but if we do get isolated storms, we could see some bigger hail in here. And with that, seeing what I have on the bottom of the screen here, yes, we do have all of our other social media platforms you can contact us on. Thanks for tuning in for our forecast today. It's easy to find us. It's all at HailTrace, no matter where we are. TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, it's all at HailTrace. Easy to find. Give us a follow, like, whatever it is. And as always, we do updates regularly here. There's forecast videos every single day. If you're watching and you want more details, you want me to break down the models a little bit more, we're live on TikTok currently, and I'm going to literally jump off of this video and just go into talking about that a little bit more. And then finally, we have give us a call, 855-334-4245. Yes, there's going to be storms this weekend. Yes, it's the weekend, but we will be answering those calls, getting you guys set up and ready to go in case any big storms happen in cities anywhere. Email us as well, info@hailtrace.com. Visit our website, and you can message us directly on our website as well at hailtrace.com. There's a little bubble lower right-hand corner of your screen. So thanks for tuning in, guys, on this Friday. We'll see you again potentially tomorrow. We'll kind of see how things are setting up tomorrow. I will be storm chasing for our news channel tomorrow, but it won't be till a little bit later. So we'll see how things play out. Keep an eye on all of our social media platforms, and we'll let you know when we're live. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you at the next one.